Gus Schmidt back with a new trading video. So today I'm back on the Pocket Option platform and I'm going to be trading OTC currency pairs. So if you click on the asset icon here, we click on currencies and I have all the currency pairs the OTC currency pairs highlighted here that I'm interested in looking at so that they appear at the top of the chart here like Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, Norwegian kroner, euro, New Zealand dollar. Okay. And for my candlestick chart, I have my candle set to 15 seconds, regular Japanese candles here. And for my trade timer, I have it set to 1 minute. So I'll be taking fast 60-second trades while looking at these 15-second candles. Okay, so I'm not going to be utilizing any indicators. I will be working on a price action strategy here, which involves trading on candle gaps. Okay, let me show you some examples. For instance, right here on this currency pair, if you notice there's a gap between this candle and this candle here, we have a bearish movement occurring. So I would take in a trade. I would take a trade right here, a sell trade here, or a put trade here over the next 60 seconds, and that would have been a winner. Okay, so that's the basic idea. We have so I'm gonna go and look through these charts here, and if I see a candle develop, okay, okay, this gap developed here. Let me uh, let me wait till it possibly retraces. All right. Anyway, uh, I missed this trade. These are fast trades. Timing is extremely important when taking these trades. All right, so let's look for some other currency pairs. Nothing going on here. There's no price action. The market is consolidating here. It's not much happening. Okay. All right. There was a candle gap here. Let's watch this currency pair. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar for a minute. Seems to be developing a bullish trend. Okay, so I just took a buy trade here. Okay. And the reason why I took the buy trade is between this candle and this red candle, there's a gap. We already have a bullish movement occurring here. So I suspect there's going to be a continued bullish movement to the upside here. So let's monitor this trade. Okay, so we got that trade. Uh, it was, if you notice here between this green candle and the red candle here, there's a gap that formed. So, all right, let me look for another setup here that'll be a little bit easier to discern. Okay, we have another. Canadian Japanese yen is in a bullish uptrend here. Let's see if we can. All right, nothing there. There's not a gap here. Let's watch it for another second or two. See if a gap may develop. No. We're seeing higher highs and higher lows, higher high, higher low. Let's keep an eye on it for a second. All right. All right. I just took a buy trade here. And if you notice this gap, all right, we have a strong bullish momentum occurring in the currency pair. The price action is an uptrend. And then this gap formed here between this green candle and this candle. So this suggests a continued bullish momentum to the upside. So let's monitor this trade and wait for the expiration here. Sometimes it's just best to sit on a particular currency pair, look for the trend, look for the gap, and then take the trade like I did here. Okay, great. So we won that trade. All right. So let's keep looking for gaps. All right. Consolidating market here. We're going to stay away from that. Uh, all right. The Euro Swiss franc was consolidating, but looks like it started to break out a little bit. So let's see here. Let's keep an eye on potential gaps. We have a bearish trend forming here. Okay. All right. Let's look for something more optimal. Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. No, it was showing a bearish momentum, but now it seems to be consolidating here. Well, no good. This is consolidating also. No discernible trend. All right, let's move on. All right, here we go. We have US dollar, Swiss franc. Uh, Up and down. Okay, let's just watch it for see what it does. Oh wow, there was a gap here, but okay, there's a second gap here. All right, I probably missed this trade. You see that? We have two gaps in a row here. I should have taken the trade, but I didn't. But that's okay. There's plenty of opportunities for these gaps to develop. Uh, all right, let's move on. Okay. We have a bullish trend here going on here. This price is retracing back. Let's see if it. Let's take a look and see if it might push further upward. If we catch a gap during this uptrend, I'll take the trade because you generally want to take the trade in the direction of the trend. So wait for the gap, look for the trend, wait for the gap, and then take the trade. All right. Let's try to find something else. No, no price action on the euro US dollar. Okay, we have a gap that developed here. So let's see if if a bullish trend is in the making here. If it can break, if the candles can break this level of resistance here coming up and a gap forms. Okay, so it broke. Seems to like it's breaking that level of resistance. Let's watch this and see maybe a gap might form. Okay, there was a gap right here. Wow. Okay, so gap formed here. If another gap forms again, okay, here we go. All right, so I just took a buy trade here. All right, there seems to be a bullish momentum developing here. We had the first gap here. I didn't take the trade because it was coming up on these levels of uh, resistance here. Then there was another gap that formed here. So let's watch this trade. Okay, nice. Okay, great. We won that trade. All right, so let's move on and look for some other currency pairs. Oh wow, look at that. Now this uh don't be fooled by this, because look, this gap formed, right? But we're coming upon a level of resistance here. So you don't take trades like this. Even don't be tempted, because you have to watch for these levels of support and resistance. So you see that uh, it reversed right here after the gap. All right. So let's watch this. Let's keep an eye on this for a second. All right. Let's try to find something else here. Hmm. Okay. So we have a strong bearish trend developing here. Uh, we have a level of support coming up here with this candle wick right here. Um, so we have to be careful about coming up on levels like I mentioned. Coming up, okay, we have a gap right here that formed. Let's keep an eye on this. If another gap formed, okay, it's just pushing a lot higher here. Let's keep an eye on this. All right, let's move on. I don't like the way it's behaving. Okay, so we have a gap here. Um, but generally, let's keep an eye on this one. All right, we have a second gap. Uh, but it's generally it's an uptrend. There was a previous downtrend here. Now we're seeing kind of an uptrend, so you need to be careful. Let's see. Now, if we have a continued uptrend here, uh, all right, in the interest of time, let's find another. All right, we have a strong bearish downtrend happening here on the Swiss franc Norwegian kroner. Let's look. Let's see if a gap opens up, and we would take a sell trade. Okay, there's a retracement going on here. If you notice, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low. Uh, all right, looks like change of structure. Let's, all right, let's leave that one alone. All right, let's watch this one. This one looks decent here. Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Let's see if anything, any gaps develop. Okay, wow, okay. We have a gap here, but we also have a level of support here. Let's monitor this for a second, see if it continues to push downward. All right, it seems that let's move on from that. It's probably consolidating now. There was a bullish trend, but it's consolidating here. So let's look for something better. No, whenever you see all these wicks like this, uh, I tend to stay away from trades with all these wicks. Uh, means the market is indecisive. Uh, uh, Wait a minute. Let's go back to U.S. dollar. Uh, all right, we had two gaps here. All right, we have also a level of support here. Even though the gap formed, I didn't take the trade because I saw this level of support right here. All right, let's this market is consolidating also. Consolidation. Okay, we got a gap. Let's see what we got going on here. Wow, what was happening here? Um, yeah, this is all right. Let's keep an eye on this just to see. All right, no, let's move on. Okay, we have a gap here. Let's watch this. Let's keep an eye on this. 'Cause we have a bearish trend, but there's a level of support right here. It's the price is sitting on this level of support here. All right, all right. Shot below that level of support. Let's see if we get it. All right, Euro US dollar. What's happening here? Looks like there's a breakout happening. Oh shoot. All right. There wasn't a let's keep an eye on this one. Okay. All right. I went ahead and took the trade here. Uh Hopefully I didn't take it too late, but there's a gap right here between this candle and the current candle here. The slightest gap. And we also have a strong bullish trend happening. So let's watch this trade. Oh wow, that was close, but we lost that trade. All right, let's keep pushing. What I'm going to do is on the next trade, I'm going to double up and help recover, like use the martingale strategy to recover the loss of that previous trade. Okay, so we have a strong bearish uh, trend happening here in the Great British Pound, Japanese yen. Let's watch this for a sec. All right, let's move on. Let's go back. No, oh no, nothing happening there. Hmm, okay, what's this? I didn't see a gap here. Let's see if a gap develops. No, no. Okay. Still pushing downward here. Let's keep watching this. Hmm. All right, let's move. All right, let me pause the video and see if I can find something. Coming up on 30 minutes recording here. So I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so I'm on the Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar, and I took several trades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades here. And the reason why I took the buy trade here is we have two candle gaps that formed here on the way up. So I went ahead and took the buy trade because of these two consecutive candle gaps to the upside here. So let's watch this trade. And we push our balance over $51,000. I took those multiple trades because I wanted to recover the loss of the previous trade that I had and gain some additional profit. That was a risky trade and very volatile asset here. But because I saw the two candles here, the one here, there's green candle gap, and then this second candle gap here, I took the trade to the upside. There was a sharp retracement down here in this candle, but it eventually pushed back up and continued the bullish momentum upward, and it still continues to push upward here. Okay, so if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment. If you have any comments about the strategy, feel free to comment in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested in gaining additional strategies that I've developed. I have a link to the platform if you're interested in trading this strategy or any of my other strategies. The platform link is in the video comments and or the channel description of the channel. I also wanted to make note that I generally trade with about 1 to 2% of my capital. Although the last trade I took several trades in order to help recover that loss. I probably should have taken maybe 3 trades, but I think I took 5 trades, I believe, on that last trade there. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Gus Schmidt, Candle Gap Trading Strategy.